know it's been a while since I uploaded, but I had a lot to catch up on. A lot of crazy shit has been happening in JJK, and I'm gonna talk about it all in this one video. First up, we got Toji versus Megumi, and not gonna lie, who the fuck let this fight happen? For real, someone should have called DIFUS or DCF or Child Protective Services or something, because this is just straight up domestic abuse. So for some reason, Toji's fast as fuck in this universe. I mean, for some reason, he's like the Flash, and the only thing Megumi can think to do is to spawn bunnies. Okay, wait, what the fuck? Why are these bunnies actually boxing like this? I mean, this one got grabbed by the ears, but that one came up from the top rope like some WWE shit. Nigga about the RKO or something? This nigga think he's Spider-Man? What the fuck is he swinging up top like that for? Nigga think he Tarzan. Doesn't matter though. He still ends up killing all the bunnies. Peter's gonna have a problem with this one. Megumi tries to get away, but gets his ass Spartan kicked into a semi-truck door. And Loki kinda ate that shit. I mean, he gets right back up after it. So Megumi pretty much just does nothing but run the entire fight. But I guess that's all Megumi does every fight. But I guess that's what happens when you fight the strongest niggas in your universe. Anyways, Megumi comes up with a plan. Toji tries to speed blitz him, and the ground he's standing on turns into water. Or the bunnies he's standing on turns into water. Then he realizes he's fighting his son and decides to kill himself. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. Next up, we have Jogo versus Sukuna. And Jogo is essentially villain version of Megumi, because all he does is get his ass whooped by the strongest niggas in his universe. This shit is not fair on any level. This nigga Sukuna is literally dragging him across the city, ragdolling his ass just like he did Megumi. Jogo is using every ability he has, and this shit is just not working. And notice how Sukuna is low-key dragging this shit out. There are frames where Sukuna is standing still or walking incredibly slowly in the middle of a fight. Like, this nigga's literally only doing this because he wants to see as much destruction to the city as possible. And speaking of the city, they are fucking this shit up. They turned this shit into a Sonic level. Got this bitch looking like Crisis City. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, Sukuna's just beating his ass. The only way I can describe this fight is if instead of sending an entire alliance, they just sent one ninja to fight Mahoraga, and Mahoraga just decided to toy with him. That's pretty much Sukuna versus Jogo. Whenever Sukuna enters the show, it don't even be the same anymore. It just turns into a fucking Dragon Ball fight. Anyways, this nigga Sukuna decides to stop playing around, and he kills Jogo with a fire ability. That's right, he killed the nigga whose specialty is fire with a fire ability, because that's just how savage Sukuna is. At least he gave Jogo his props. This shit is so backwards in JJK. You got heroes calling niggas trash, and villains calling niggas strong. Alright, next up we got Sukuna versus Mahoraga. And who is Mahoraga, you're wondering? Well, it's one of Megumi's many Pokemon. In fact, his strongest Pokemon, and he has the ability to adapt to anything. And you're probably wondering, who did he use this on? He uses it on this nigga, this trash street level nigga. You didn't think to use this shit a few seconds ago when your dad was beating your ass? Or maybe when Sukuna first spawned? Seriously, what the fuck were you doing holding this kind of trump card? What the fuck were you doing holding this kind of ace in the hole? You have any idea how much shit you could have prevented? Shit, my petty ass, I would have used it against Toto for body slamming my ass. I'll be damned if I let a nigga suplex me because I said I didn't like bad bitches. So anyways, Sukuna and Mahoraga start fighting, and you're probably thinking, man, surely this nigga Sukuna has to be tired or thirsty or hungry or something. He just got out of a fight with Jogo, and that lasted an entire episode. And shit, I guess Sukuna was thinking the same thing, because this nigga gets a drink and some popcorn mid-fight. So Sukuna and Mahoraga continue fighting, and it's very similar to how Sukuna versus Jogo played out, but the only difference is that Sukuna is visibly enjoying himself, unlike when he was fighting Jogo and you can tell he was playing around. Alright, I'm not gonna let this shit slide. Firstly, this nigga Mahoraga is swimming through concrete like an Olympic level athlete. What the fuck is he doing? You couldn't have just flew towards him? You know what's even crazier? Sukuna, what the fuck is he doing? This nigga's doing a trillion backflips and shit. Like, nigga, you couldn't have just dodged or gotten out of the way? You're not Dick Grayson. You're not Spider-Man. Calm down. What the hell are you doing all these backflips for? Bro, you ever play fucking Lego Batman? And you play as Robin and press backwards and jump and you just do a bunch of backflips? I feel like Mahoraga just learned how to do that and just had to spam that shit. He just had to figure out a situation where he could spam these backflips. Still not as useless as the Miles Morales flip. If I was Pete, I would have been hot. Nigga, you could have caught me. I wasn't even in your way. You weren't even in line of danger. You wasn't even any threat of getting hit. You just did a backflip just to do a backflip. Nigga just got his spider powers a month ago and had to show him off. Anyways, the fight continues on, and not gonna lie, Mahoraga is on his ass right now. I mean, this nigga is on his ass. He's not taking a break. He's not stopping at all. This nigga's scary as fuck. He's like Nemesis from Resident Evil. So Mahoraga starts throwing a bunch of cars and shit, and I would feel bad because I know these niggas' insurance is not covering safer in that. The only problem is, there's no one in this fucking city to pay insurance. Sukuna killed them all when he was fighting Jogo. So Sukuna tries to get an easy lick by using his domain expansion. That shit does not work. He just adapts to that, and Sukuna is shook. So Sukuna ends up using the same fire move he uses on Jogo, and I guess it just ended up obliterating him. Alright, not gonna cap, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip all the Mahito fights, because Mahito has like 7,000 fights that drag on, and ultimately nothing happens. Mahito is reaching Orochimaru levels of plot armor. I mean, like, how much shit can this nigga survive? So I'm just gonna skip all that until where Mahito kills Nobara. So it turns out Mahito has Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he was actually fighting Nobara and Yuji at the same time. So the one that was fighting Yuji switches to Nobara and taps her face and kills her. Now, there are a couple fights after this, but honestly, I don't really care. All you really need to know is Mahito gets killed by Geto, and Jojo is Yuji's brother. Alright, peace out, and make sure you watch my previous JJK video.